hunch, the detective follows his gut. That's TV. In real life, all your gut is good for is telling you when it's time for lunch. When law enforcers trust their gut more than the evidence, criminal justice is bullshit. Another rough night in the United States of America. There's a murder every half hour, a rape every 5 minutes, and a theft every 4 seconds. I gotta stop taping these voiceovers so early in the morning. Still, crime in America is down. In fact, it's been going down since the 1980s. As a prison population, it's bigger than ever. Are those two related? What the fuck's going on? Is this increase in prison population responsible for the decrease in crime? Some think so. But maybe shoddy forensics and overzealous prosecutors are trying to convict as many people as they can, even innocent people. Maybe prosecutors are out of order. Maybe courtrooms are out of order. Even this sentence out of order is. Maybe. Tonight will be the pistol-packing talk show host.
I think the criminal justice system works.
A pencil-packing attorney.
I think the American criminal justice system is in serious trouble.
A scientist who questions forensics.
When people are involved in testing, there are mistakes.
This victim of a terrible injustice.
They searched my wife. They searched me. They began going through our home.
An innocent guy sent to prison.
I thought I would probably die there.
And this guy who wants to set us all straight.
If you want the freedom in this country, you've got to pay the consequences for breaking other people's freedom.
All rise. Bullshit is in session. In the criminal justice system, there are two kinds of prosecutors. One is the kind who looks to find the truth in every case. The other is the kind who looks to win every case regardless of the evidence. This show is about that second kind of prosecutor. Fuck! What are you doing? I'm going to put that in the post. Okay, that's enough with enough. The scene of the crime. The home of this mild-mannered man.
My name is Richard Pay.
And a woman who claims to know him really well.
My name is Linda Pay. I'm Richard Pay's wife.
Richard and Linda were home with their children in Florida one night in 1997 when their lives were shattered.
4 or 5 guys in black outfits with guns. They banged in, broke down my front door.
My first thought was that this is some type of robbery.
2 or 3 came down the hallway with their guns out and started checking all the rooms looking for Richard.
There was several men in the bedroom with black ski masks on, holding weapons, the one pointing at me, telling me not to move, or that he was going to shoot me.
Jesus, in a fucking wheelchair! I mean, that's unfortunate. What can we do to stop this kind of a nightmare?
I want to see the guilty ones thumped and thumped hard. It's absolutely necessary to be tough on crime. If you're not, the criminals will take the message that this is allowed. I'm Lars Larson. I'm a talk show host, and I'm tough on crime.
His name is Lars Larson. He's no Johnny Carson, but he has his own microphone.
There is a solid correlation between the prison population and the level of crime. When states cut back on punishing people for crime, crimes go up. People commit more crimes. If you convict and catch people and put them behind bars, crime goes down.
Lars sees salvation in incarceration. As it turns out, Lars isn't alone.
Mike Rushford, president of the Criminal Justice Legal Foundation. It has been our incarceration policy, and I think the aggressive work of our law enforcement and prosecutors that have told criminals, by and large, that they're facing real consequences if they commit crime.
Rushford, like Lars, believes a higher imprisonment rate has resulted in a lower crime rate, and they both have sexy wall charts. Well, Lars has a chart about Conan, Is that Conan? Rushford's wall chart tracks incarceration and crime rates since the 1960s.
The red line tracks the amount of crimes that occurred over that period, and the green line tracks the number of people who were sent to prison for crime over the same period. And you'll note, as the prison rate goes down, the crime rate went up until we had policies in place to start incarcerating at higher numbers. The crime rate went down steadily over this last almost 20 years now and continues to go down today. So I think the system, all in all, based on the crime rate, is working.
So, Richard, with the system working and all, and seeing that you're now safe and sound in your house, I guess the cops nailed those assholes that terrorized you.
I was taken to jail that night.
Fuck! Yep, Richard was handcuffed and arrested because it wasn't robbers that invaded his home, it was the police.
I asked them, what's this about? And the officer tells me that they have a warrant because I have a large supply of drugs here. And I realized that they were talking about my prescription medication.
Pain medicine Richard had been legally prescribed and was taking ever since a car accident left him in chronic pain. At the time of his arrest, Richard was found with a month's supply of his medication, which happened to be over the legal limit.
Prescription for 60 of my pills amounted to more than 4 grams, and that would be enough for a conviction for drug trafficking. One prescription.
Do we have the facts right? Your doctor writes you a prescription. They pick it up at the Walgreens, and police break down your front door, scare the fuck out of your children, and arrest you as a drug trafficker?
They're not supposed to do something like this. I mean, it was horrible.
No shit. But wait a second. I thought the system was working great.
America once had, I think, the best criminal justice system in the world. Tim Lynch, attorney and criminal justice scholar at the Cato Institute. But if you look at many of the underlying trends that are going on today, I think we're going in the wrong direction fast.
But what about that sexy wall chart? We've been told tough on crime works.
If we're talking about apprehending murderers, apprehending rapists, apprehending child molesters, and taking them out of civil society and putting them in prison, I think that makes perfect sense. If you mean wage the drug war more aggressively and put tens of thousands of more people in prison for drug offenses, then I think that's a wrong-headed idea.
Richard was following his doctor's orders. Yes, he had a lot of pills. What the police wanted was evidence to support their theory that he was selling the drugs. So they got busy.
Before the police did the raid that night, they had us under surveillance. It lasted between 2 and 3 months. The surveillance turned up nothing.
But the police went after him anyway.
And we began the legal ordeal that would take 10 years of our lives.
This is the primary driver of the American criminal justice system. It's the number of drug offenses and drug searches, arrests, and prosecutions. It's why our system is overwhelmed, why the police are overwhelmed, why the courts are overwhelmed, and why the prisons are overwhelmed.
Let's say we don't give a fuck about innocent people. Let's say we don't care about justice. Let's talk money. We spend more than $50 billion a year keeping people in jail. That's roughly 20 grand a prisoner. Now, it might be worth it to spend 20 grand a year of our fucking money. And don't ever forget, it's our fucking money. To keep someone who rapes, robs, murders out of circulation. But for pot-smoking losers or guys like Richard who are doing no fucking harm, we jail the man in a wheelchair for having too much painkiller around his house? If that's a problem, tell him you can fix that for $1. Okay, so criminal justice has flaws. But if there's one thing people know works perfectly, it's forensic science.
The benefits of forensic science is that we are able to give objects that can't, and in some cases people who are deceased, we give them a voice. I'm John Collins, director of an internationally accredited forensic science laboratory.
This is what a real crime scene investigator looks like? Fuck!
Forensic science is a very objective, very scientific aspect of our criminal justice system that I think the public would be very proud of if they knew more about it.
Well, we're right here, John. Tell us more. Start with fingerprints.
Fingerprint analysis is the examination of